Hi, I'm Peace. I'm a fourth year medical student living in Nigeria. We have a new blog. So in this blog today, I'll be sharing my little secret and story about how I was able to prepare for my MD exam in just a month and pass marvelously well. Though it wasn't easy, but with the proper mindset, the consistent mindset, strategic plan, prayer and faith, I was able to conquer and excel well. So let's dive into it. Basically, the backbone of my success was my test score. I planned my test score very well because I set a target of not scoring less than 25 in all my tests. So I was able to hit that target, the expectation, on two courses, physiology and biochemistry. So while in anatomy, I scored below 25, but more than, greater than 20. So it was still around that range. Though it wasn't easy, but it was a great challenge, and I believe you can do that too. It's just you putting the right mindset. So the test score gave me this confidence. Like it gave me confidence. I always remember that I just have to find an additional 30 or 25 to pass. So it gave me that confidence and also made me it ensured me that I'm not keeping too many gaps. You get that kind of hustling period. Now this period was one of the crazy moments of my life because I definitely had to go back home to hustle. Though my school used to give this 2 month break, like after they finish lecture, they'll give you this 2 month break to prepare for the MB exam, the final exam. So when we're having this 2 month break, I definitely had to go back home to work for a month because I need to balance both studies, that is academic and surviving together. And fortunately, I was able to do that. When I get back home, I signed for a job and I was able to get a job. So they were paying me well then. And it was a secondary school. I had to teach them physics and maths. So I worked for that school for a month. When I did that work, along the line, along doing the work, it wasn't easy because I always felt left behind. I believe most of my people are reading 247, and throughout the day they're always reading. But me, I'm at home just juggling, hustling, and studies together. So I was very afraid, and I was doubting myself if I can do this. But with the right people around me, my dad, my friends, families, I was able to calm myself down and believe I was doing well. That I was doing well because I was initially studying for just 3 hours every day. When I go to the school in the morning, I teach and come back maybe around 3 o'clock. So I'll be very tired by then. And anytime I want to read, maybe for my own self, it will be in the evening. So that evening time around 6, so I just have to read for the next 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours. And whenever I'm reading, I just remember most of my classmates. I know them. There are some people that can read from like morning to night, and that's the kind of person I am. I read from morning to night, but now I'm reading for just 3 hours because of the other schedules. So I was just afraid. I was afraid. But after collecting my salary for that month, remaining a month, my school released the timetable, the exam timetable. So when they released this timetable, it was just 4 weeks to that time to the exam. So I had to lock in. I went back to school, stay in the environment. I was reading and changed my format of reading. I started reading like early in the morning. In the afternoon, I would do more of revision. In the night, I would do more of past Q. So I did that consistently and consecutively for a month, and it really helped me. Of course, there are a lot of challenges, the times of doubt, the time of hopelessness, and the feeling you get that you are not doing enough yet. So I balance these 3 things with just 2 things. They include my score. I was very proud of those scores. So, and the mindset, the consistent mindset. I believe that if I work very hard, definitely God will intervene in my struggle. So those 2 things keep me in shape. And I do meet my friends, ask them for a revision class, and they'll be like, "Yeah, okay, this is the topic the lecturer emphasized on during his revision class today. Because before the exam, definitely there will be some lecturers, that our class rep will meet for revision class. So that is very important too. So I will shout out to our class rep. They did a very nice job there in organizing the revision section. So those places, most of those lecturer emphasizes on, like they send them to the group chat. So we that were not around, they read those parts very well, and we read other parts too. But you should give more emphasis, on the place where the lecturer gave more emphasis on. If you want to value, now is not the time for stuff. So we did that. At the end of the day, I entered the exam or gave it on my best, and fortunately, glory be to God, I was able to pass like marvelously. When I say marvelously, I wasn't expecting the results to be that way, but it was more than my expectation. So I don't want to sharing, scores in this channel. I don't want to be sharing it because of some reasons. So at that moment, I get to understand that not lengthy hours of study will determine your success during preparation for exams, but the strategy you put in place, the consistent mindset, the prayers, all these are very, very important. So now I'll sum up these with these 5 important tips that most people preparing for exams should follow. If you are preparing for an ND exam, if you are preparing for if you are preparing for a very big exam, you should make sure you follow these 5 steps. Firstly is secure your test. Secondly, plan wisely. Thirdly, face your challenges. Any place you are finding it difficult, face the challenge very well. Fourthly, you should stay consistent. And fifth, which is prayer. This prayer is supposed to be the first part of everything you are doing. You should always pray, put prayers in place. Even when the odds are against you, like believe me, you will still come out victoriously. So please, if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, subscribe. I'll be dropping more interesting medical study tips and experience, clinical vlog, history of medicine, and many more. So stay tuned.